Lou, let's have a look at the Anti-Corruption Unit, because let's be honest, the ICC and this particular unit has copped a pounding, particularly when this information was leaked. A lot of people thought it had come from that unit. Now it's my information, it did not come from the Anti-Corruption Unit. So how have you found this body to deal with?
Well, I'll start from the people at the top, and that's the Anti-Corruption, the ACSU. And I've met these guys numerous occasions during my career, and when I knew it was Martin and John that were going to come out to New Zealand, you know, of course I'm apprehensive about, you know, what are these guys going to be like compared to dealing with, especially the ECB, because we had ECB meeting first in Guernsey en route to New Zealand. So I was a bit apprehensive about the way the first time it went round with the ECB to these guys. But the moment I walked into my lawyer's office and sat down with these guys, and their professionalism, their sensitivity, their gentleness about giving me an environment, a safe environment to be able to talk, was just underliningly, it was just so professional.
They were really professional.
That's all I've heard as well.
I would never ever hesitate for, you know, any player, telling any player that if they've got issues that they need to get off. It's very hard to make that first step.
But this is groundbreaking for them, because as I go back to my original point about half an hour ago, that if you had said nothing, they investigated these matches that they suspected back in 2008 and couldn't find enough evidence.
That's correct.
Now they've got your testimony. They're able to go back through these matches with evidential proof now. So you've actually opened all of this up. They haven't had somebody like a Lou Vincent spilling the beans before.
No, it's a unique experience, and as you alluded to before about the bravery of this whole thing, you know, I am a brave man. I'll stand up to anything. I'll stand up to any bowling attack or any tough situation and be able to deal with it, even though I'm such a sensitive guy. But given the enormity of
Well,
the
they didn't make
situation.
you feel like a criminal, did they?
No,
They
no.
explained to you that these things can happen within the game. They will protect the game.
Given the information that you have now provided to the Met Police, Lou, do you think there is a potential here, that your cricketing hero could go to jail? You can't answer that, can you?
Listen, I'm doing the right thing. I'm telling the truth. I'm telling the truth. I've got to give respect to the rest of the investigation by not being able to comment at this stage. And, you know, today's a massive step forward because I can actually talk, but my hands are still tied a lot as well. And, you know, we all want to know the truth, and that's what each phase of...
I think he should go to prison.
You do?
Yes.
Why?
Because he's done wrong at another level. Like I told you, I think Lou should be punished, but there are other people involved in this at a higher level that have introduced other young players, supposedly introduced other young players, and also financial gain, but also because it's happened before and they've been found innocent where there's smoke, there's fire, and it needs to be stopped. When you've done something wrong, there's got to be a point in your life that you put it right. And I know that when people tell lies, they can carry on lying and, you know, put themselves into a hole. But to call Lou a liar, to use Lou's depression to try and get away with something that, you know, I don't know how to talk here legally, but, you know, me from the heart, to use somebody that's, I feel, has already been used, and to try and use him as a scapegoat and make, because of his mental health issues in the past, make it, you know, use it to their own advantage, it's wrong. You know, stand up, be a man, and face the consequences of your actions too. That's how I feel.
It's
about
almost
it.
like I watched Britain's Got Talent, and these two young little kids came out and sung this most amazing rap song about bullying, and it captivated the world. You know, people being manipulated, people being bullied into doing things. You know, it's a cruel, cruel world out there, and there are bullies out there, and you crossbreed that with greed and so many negative attributes, you're going to get a monster.
When you think about this whole situation now and where we're at, so you're able to speak publicly, Is it the start of a new life? Is it the start of your secondary life now?
It's going to take a while to get there. But every morning now I wake up, I don't hate myself. I love the life. I love my world. I love so many good people around me. It's small steps. It takes a while to rebuild.
What are you going to do for a living, a job, an income?
Well, I'm working for a fantastic guy called Warren out at Helensville. He's a builder. There's a team of us that do all the jobs around the countryside, fencing from barn building to building decks. It's perfect for me because it keeps me physically active for now. But I've got a lot of skills. I've got a lot of experience and skills that need to be tapped into at some stage. And, you know, both Suzie and I have spoken about what we can actually do to start earning some money. And
we'd love to work with children, and we'd love to work with children in sport. But we might have to put that as originally we were going to set up the Lou Vincent Cricket Academy for kids,
or a sporting academy, you know, like just
with a handicap side and a charity side. But we can't do that now.
Not for a while anyway. But that's our dream, because, like, you know, from my journey, seeing vulnerable people be exposed and be used, you know, I want to have some sort of more education there and helping people to understand the warning signs of how we can make society a better place. And that's why I'm here today, to be honest, and to face up to my despicable world that I lived in there for 6 years. I want to show people that you can have the strength to turn your life around.
What happens next? So we sit back in the Crown and they make a decision over whatever charges. Do you expect you may have to provide evidence, maybe video evidence back in New Zealand for this court case if it should go ahead, if it does go ahead, if charges are laid?
Oh, completely. Absolutely. You know, I've got no idea what to expect, you know.
But you're prepared for that?
Absolutely.
Would you go to London and go on the stand?
I'll do whatever it takes to follow through my story, which is the truth, which is it's always been, and I'll follow.
Because you know, Lou, that is going to be a firestorm. If you think the story has been big to this point, you know that is going to be an international story.
Oh, it's huge. It's going into battle, but I tell you what, the power of good always wins, and I've seen it through this last 12 months. Despite all the bad things I've done, I am being a good person, and I've attracted some amazing people. My lawyer, Chris Morris, has just done so much for me, more than beyond the call of a lawyer. You know, I have so many good people around me now, and that's because I am a good person and I'm doing the right thing.
And Suzie, now you can get married.
Maybe. He's got to propose to me
I've heard
again.
this, actually. You've got to get down on the knee again, Lou. Is this right?
Sorry.
Down on the knee. Do you want to do it now?
Would you like to marry us?
I don't know if I could be a JP, but there you go.
Yeah. No, we've got some great things to look forward to.
We've still got a bit of respecting the situation to do first. And it didn't feel right. The marriage, as lovely as it was that Lou proposed to me, it wasn't very happy. So let's do it right when we've got time. And
I wish you both well. I mean that. I wish you well with your futures, and may it go well.
Thank you very much, Tony.
You.